Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do some flower preserving. I'm going to go around my garden, I'm going to go harvest some flowers and rose petals and whatever is in bloom at the moment in my garden. We are going to put them in a flower press and then press them, and eventually I will make some cards with them or some crafts or something useful from them, but at the moment I'm going to go and harvest them. So let's go wander in my garden. So I have all these rose petals. They're looking a bit worn. They are a bit old. So I don't know whether I will dry them or not. We might come back to them. But you can see they've got like some discoloration on them. I will need to cut them off eventually, but I don't know whether I will dehydrate the petals. We've got some borage as well just here with these beautiful blue flowers. Maybe I'll cut a stem and see how they go being dried. We'll see. I'm not sure how they will dry, but might as well try. Let's get some of these. I'm happy to cut some of these because the bees still have plenty of flowers in the garden. So let's do some alyssum as well. This is just going to be a bit of a trial and error just to see how certain things look being pressed. And I'm not going to cut too much because these plants are still young. So I'll let them keep going. So I want to get some poppies, but I'm going to try and find some that are freshly opened. This one looks okay. That one's a bit old. These ones here are a bit old. You can see the discoloration. And it's a bit old too. So we might get this one here. And put that in my basket. And this one here. You can see there's heaps of flower heads, so there'll be heaps more popping up soon. What about over here? This one looks nice and red. Let's chop that in the basket. And what about this one? Yep, nice and frilly. So I just got some calendula flowers down here. There's a weed there, but I just picked up 3. When you're cutting flowers, if you want to be pressing them in a flower press, try and cut off as much of the stem as possible. I could probably cut that a bit more, but I'm going to I'll trim them when I actually put them in the press. So we're getting a nice colourful basket. Let's get some of these pink ones here. These ones aren't at their prime, but that's okay. I'm trying to look for flowers that have all their petals intact and have some nice colour to them. There's plenty of flowers on this one, so I'm not worried about cutting too many off. They change kind of from a dark pink to a lighter pink as they get older. That's really pretty. So we'll get a mix of both. In the basket. We'll get some lavender too. I might get some of these young ones with some of the stem on them too. Whoops, dropped that one. There you go, little handful of lavender flowers. beautiful colour arrangement so far. Let's see what else we can find. Just here we have these beautiful purple pansies. So I'm going to cut a few of them. They can just fall straight into my little basket. Hopefully these dry up really nicely and the colour stays really vibrant, but we won't know until we try them. I spy some strawberries. Just gonna pick them. These are alpine strawberries, so they are a bit smaller, but they're very sweet. I'll take the strawberry. Really sweet, but really good. My poor little avocado at the back here, it had borage growing in front of it, and the borage just went mad. I had to push it to the side. I cut back a whole bunch yesterday, and hopefully the avocado gets some sun and it grows some more leaves. So we had a new flush of leaves come through in the spring weather, but I think because it was being blocked out, they started to wilt and die, and I just spy an asparagus. Can you see the asparagus? Let's harvest it. There's one more flower that I do want to get actually, and that's these pink roses. I'm just going to put my basket down. You can see in the shade how colourful it is. Let's pick just a few because this has only just started to bloom. Stunning. Hey guys, so I've just put in my basket of flowers from outside. As you can see in the light of the room, we've got some really nice colours in these flowers. We got some dark purples, some whites, some light purple with lavender, pinks, orange. Let's just shuffle that. Some oranges, some yellow, some beautiful like light pink, some white and cream, some red poppies, as well as the blue borage flowers. So we're just going to open up the flower press here. Okay. So this flower press did already have some flowers in it from a very long time ago. I haven't opened up this flower press in probably close to a year actually, 12 months. So I really want to get into flower pressing more and also using what I have, because there's no point this sitting in my bookshelf doing nothing for a year. So I've got my newspaper here. Nothing in them just yet. Oh wow, can you guys see that? I've got calendula flowers. You can see how they've been pressed and they've retained their colours. I want to put these to the side and I'll deal with them once we're done making the next batch. So let's start off with a bit of newspaper, and I think we're going to start with these ones, the pansies. I don't get that to focus, but I'm going to start with these dark purple pansies. I might need to trim off some of the stem on them, so I'm just going to do that with my fingers. Or just peel it off. You're going to place them upside down, so the face of the flower that you want preserved is going to go face down onto the newspaper. You kind of want to spread them out evenly so that when you put the cover on top and they flatten, they're not touching each other. Alright, that's all the pansies I got. We'll put a layer on top, flatten it, and our first bit of cardboard just goes on like that. So you just keep layering and stacking until you either run out of space, yeah, until you can't fit anymore really. Just be mindful that you're laying the flowers flat, because you don't want any petals out of place or like crossing over each other if you want a nice evenly pressed flower. Next I'm going to do the poppies that we got. I'm not sure how poppies will go, and they're very delicate flowers, and so they're already a little bit damaged just from being in the basket, just from being picked. That one's not too good. So I'm going to try and open up the petals. There's a little spider in that one, so I'm going to go outside and shake him out. I don't want to press the poor little guy. I think these red poppies will be really cool for Remembrance Day or Anzac Day next year. If they dry up really well and they keep their colour, it'd be really cool to make things for Anzac Day. This one's really cute. I'm just going to go shake the little spider out of this one and I'll be back. So I just left that poppy outside. The spider didn't want to be shaken out, so he can stay. I felt bad for stealing his home. This is a little hack. You can just poke the holes through the paper. You don't need to cut it to size or anything. This works quite well as well. Then cardboard on top. You can dry leaves as well. You don't have to dry or press flowers. I'm not going to with these. I'm just going to do a lot of flowers first. You can do roses. They're quite thick, so I'm not sure what to do. I might do them on their own separate board. If they don't fit, then I'll just like air dry them. I won't press them, I'll just air dry them and then put them in a jar. But you also want to be able to leave enough of the screw to be able to screw the lid back on. You don't want to overfill it so that you can't put any pressure on to put the screw ties back on. Once you get them all on a few turns, you can put more pressure, more weight on and tighten them. But the tricky part is just getting them all on. Okay. So now we can go and tighten them all, and that will squish the flowers and the paper closer together. So here's our final flower press, what it looks like at the end once it's got flowers in it. You can see the layers and the newspaper. I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. So here we have the finished product. These flowers are absolutely stunning. I think my favourites are the alyssum, that turned out really cute. These white flowers, I'm not sure the name, but look how vibrant the white petals have dried with the yellow centre. The roses they don't look too bad, but they're still a bit damp because they have a lot of moisture in them, just by the density of the flower itself. The poppies look really good as well. I found on the newspaper there was a lot of the pollen, so there's like patches of like yellow splotches on the newspaper as it dried. The calendula look good even though it's a bit misshapen, so it's important that you, when you're lying them flat, that you get all the petals where they need to be. The lavender looks really good. It's not as vibrant as I thought it might be. It isn't a dark purple variety though, so that's why it's kind of a muted grey looking tone. It's kind of got white and light purple flowers on top, as we can see there. So I want to try doing a really dark purple lavender flower next and see how that turns out. The borage looks cute as well, even though it's not my favourite, and the pansies, they retain their really vibrant colouring. So overall, I'm loving these. I'm going to store them in some glass jars when and ready for when I'm going to make some cards with them. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on my next video.